Chapter 1. The train pulled in, but no one was waiting. The whistle of the train echoed across the desolate Wyoming plains as the sun dipped below the horizon. Eleanor Whitmore clutched the worn leather handle of her suitcase, her gloved hands trembling, not from the cold, but from uncertainty. After months of letters, promises, and dreams, she had finally arrived in the dusty town of Willow Creek to marry a man she'd never met. A new beginning, she hoped. But the platform was empty. No smiling face, no rugged man with arms outstretched to welcome her, no James Miller, the man who'd written to her about his homestead, his struggles, and his need for a companion and mother to his children. Just silence. And then, a creak behind her. "Ma'am," came a small voice. She turned to see a boy, no more than 12, holding the hand of a toddler, 5 more children peeking from behind the weathered post of the station house. All eyes were wide, hopeful, scared. "I'm Charlie. Papa, he ain't coming. He passed 3 weeks ago. But we got your letter. We waited, 'cause we didn't know what else to do." Chapter 2. 7 Pairs of Eyes. Eleanor didn't speak. Not at first. She stared at the children, ranging in age from a babe in arms to Charlie, the oldest. They were thin, pale, wearing coats too small or patched too many times. The youngest, a girl with chestnut curls, was barefoot. The truth sank in like a stone dropped in a well. She had no husband, no home, no plan. And yet, she looked at them, and something stirred inside her. Not pity, something deeper. A quiet, aching pull. "Where have you been staying?" she finally asked. Charlie straightened. "We're trying to keep the house together. Been doing chores. Selling eggs. Miss Abernathy brings bread sometimes." Eleanor knelt, brushing the child's cheek. "You've been alone all this time?" He nodded, swallowing hard. "Well," she said, lifting her chin, "then I suppose I'd better come home with you." Chapter 3. Dust, Cold, and Determination. The Miller homestead was a creaking skeleton of a house, drafty and worn, but standing. Eleanor entered it not as a wife, but as a stranger to 7 frightened children and a life she hadn't asked for. The first night, the baby cried for hours. Charlie tried to boil beans, but burned them. Eleanor slept in a rocking chair, wrapped in her coat, listening to the wind whistle through the cracked window pane. She thought of leaving, of the train heading east again. But then she remembered the way the youngest had reached for her hand, the way Charlie had tucked his siblings in with shaking hands, trying to be a man far too young. And she stayed. Chapter 4. The Work of a Heart. Eleanor scrubbed floors, mended socks, learned to milk the goat, and cooked whatever she could find. She read to them by candlelight and held the baby when fever came. Bit by bit, the children softened. Clara, the shy 8-year-old, began braiding Eleanor's hair in the mornings. Sam, the wild one, stopped stealing bread and started picking flowers for the kitchen table. And Charlie, God bless that boy, started smiling again. Then one night, it happened. Eleanor was mending a ripped shirt at the fire when Charlie cleared his throat. "You don't have to stay, you know," he said quietly. "Ain't no shame in leaving. You didn't sign up for this." She looked at him, this boy trying so hard to be a man. "I didn't," she agreed. "But I believe I was meant to be here." He didn't speak again, but she saw his eyes shine with something that had been missing, relief. Chapter 5. The Letter. Spring brought sunshine, but also a letter. It was from Eleanor's sister in Boston, begging her to come home. "You have no obligations there," it read. "You're wasting your life." Eleanor read it aloud to herself in the quiet kitchen. Then, she folded it and placed it in the stove. She turned, startled. Charlie had been standing at the door, watching. "You're really staying?" he asked. "I already have." That night, the children surprised her. A makeshift cake, a bouquet of wildflowers, and a card written in crooked handwriting. "To Ma. Because you stayed." Chapter 6. The Visitor. Months passed. The house was cleaner. The children stronger. Laughter returned. One day, a man arrived at the farm, a lawyer from Cheyenne. He brought papers. James Miller had left behind debt. The homestead was on the brink of foreclosure. Eleanor's hands trembled again. But this time, not from fear, from resolve. She took in sewing, sold pies, organized townsfolk to donate tools and lumber. A church group rebuilt the barn. The sheriff cleared the title on a technicality. And the town, once distant, rallied around the woman who had stepped off a train with no reason to stay and became the very heart of Willow Creek. Chapter 7. A Home Built on Love. Years passed. Eleanor never married. She didn't have to. The children grew strong, full of warmth and purpose. Charlie became a teacher, Clara a nurse. The others followed, each carrying with them the lessons of love, sacrifice, and home. At her 70th birthday, with generations around her, Eleanor was asked if she ever regretted not finding her husband that day. She smiled, eyes misty. "I didn't come here to find a husband," she said. "Turns out, I came here to become a mother." Epilogue. The power of one choice. One woman stepped off a train, expecting a husband, and instead found 7 children on the edge of being forgotten. But through compassion, grit, and love, she became exactly who they needed. Eleanor didn't plan to change lives, but she did, because sometimes the greatest journeys begin when everything falls apart. And sometimes the family you're meant for is the one you never saw coming. This story is a tribute to the quiet heroes among us, those who stay when it's hard, love when it's not easy, and believe in the power of presence. Let this remind us, you don't have to be perfect to be the person someone needs. You just have to show up and choose love.